Welcome back from the break. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Catherine Mwangi here on Inspiration Monday, all things motivation. Today we have a conversation on personal self-development. It's early in the year, it's early in the decade, so it's a new decade as well. What are your plans? How do you intend to fulfill or achieve those plans? And to just help this conversation going, I'm going to introduce to you people who have actually made it happen, not just for themselves, but for others. And I'll start with Miss Julie, no stranger to the show. Again, met her on Facebook, through Facebook rather. Julie, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So life coach.
Yes.
And many other things she'll tell us about. Author Reinhard Atella, welcome back after 2 years.
Thank you very much.
You authored a really great book. Remind me the title.
Oh, this is God Broke was the first one. But then I have a new baby in the house, Unleash the Hero Within.
Unleash the Hero Within. Well done. You hadn't told me about that one.
I will tell
You've blindsided me on the show. But that is still okay. So karibu sana to the program.
Sana.
And also for the first time on the program, we have Michelle Ascott Njuguna. Again, I met her on Facebook. Facebook is such a great platform to meet really good people. And Michelle is an international life coach for adults and kids.
Correct, yes, I am.
You're the first kids life coach I'm meeting. I didn't even know you exist, like kids, there's something like that.
Yeah.
But you will be letting us know like what that
Absolutely.
looks like.
I
Okay.
should be telling you that.
Okay, you're most welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So we want to talk about how to develop ourselves this year or this decade. It's not just a new year, it's bigger than that. And what are the steps? What are the beginning? Where do people start? Because we just know the basics of, create resolutions, just make sure you follow them through, and then keep checking whether you're okay, and then the end. And then by August, you're regretting, I haven't even done half of these things. So we need to know what the beginnings are, and I'll start with you.
Okay. So I think the first thing to think about is, what do you want?
Oh.
Not what, society wants, not what's expected of you in your role. What do you actually want?
Okay.
Versus what you don't want.
Okay.
So once you've identified what you want, then it's beginning to think about, well, how can you, actually, what can you do?
Wow.
And sometimes you might not know what you do want.
Yes.
So, if we look at our past, we can get clues. So maybe, take your mind back to, when you were at your happiest. What were you doing? What were you telling yourself? What was going on?
Wow.
So go back, have a look, and maybe there'll be clues to tell you, well, what do I want for my future? What do I want for this new decade?
Right. Okay, and as a life coach, you help people identify. So like if I was having a session with you, it would be about, I can give you even 10 things that I want. And then you're able to distill that into what are the next steps, for example?
Yeah, well, first of all, we'd dig a bit deeper and check, is that really what you want? Because life coaching is about developing your awareness. And often clients will come to me and they come to me with something, but when you dig deeper, there's actually something underneath it. So first of all, it's checking in, is that really what you want? So through various questions and tools, really digging deep and then saying, well, what's the priority?
Right.
And one of the important things to sort of work that out is to identify what your values are. Because once you've identified that, then that's the key to everything else that makes you happy. So what are the essential values for you?
Okay. I like that digging deep because Reinhard,
Yes.
if I just said things I want, right? Say for this year, for this next decade, and maybe it's things my parents want for me, or things my spouse wants for me, or the society wants for me. How do you get that clarity that this is really me?
Well, first and foremost, you have to understand that if it's not you who likes whatever you want to do, you're not going to have the empathy to do it. And that's the beginning of failure. So if you're doing it for the people or for the society, for your parents, as you put it, you realize that the enthusiasm dies. But when you know that this is what I want to do and this is what I'm born to do, most people it takes time to understand that. That's why somebody said that most people die at 25 and they're buried at 65, meaning they live all their life dead. But when you find this one thing that comes easy, as you put it, then it will give you a sense of enthusiasm. I love doing this, and you'll wake up for it. You remember, most people wake up every day, as I say, based on their alarms, simply because they're not waking up to something. But when you know that whatever I'm doing is this is what I'm called to do. Wake up excited to do that which you know you're called to do. So you're not going to do it for somebody. So the motivation is not those people.
Yeah.
The motivation is the fact that brings to you fulfillment.
Yeah.
That is the bottom line.
Yeah. So Julie, it's not just about writing resolutions.
No.
No. Because I can write 20.
We have been doing that each and every year, but by 15th of January, we are done. Yeah, we don't go between 15 days. Yeah, so it's beyond whatever is underlying why you want something. Those are the main reasons. Those are the deep reasons why you either push for it or you just let it be. Because if I want to get, especially as women, if I want to lose weight because of something else, it's not really because I want to get healthy or I want to live longer. I want to be able to give more to the society on a healthy platform. Yeah, I'm doing it for the sake of somebody else out there. It won't go beyond. So the reasons have to be, you have to dig, like what she's saying, your awareness, your consciousness. You have to really know exactly why you want to do it. Yeah, yes.
So is that part of emotional intelligence?
Yeah, because emotional intelligence is about knowing yourself, you know, and understanding. And I always say to my clients, emotions are good. It doesn't matter what it is, emotions are good. So we always have to recognize that. And if we can name it and tame it, so also to be able to identify it. But emotions are the key. They're telling us if something's going right or wrong. So that's why we really need to listen to it. So if we're not living and not honoring our values, then that will manifest itself in, you know, some sort of sadness or whatever, because we're not living the way we should be. We're not having that, you know, that drive to get out of bed. So we need to be honouring those values, and then we'll be happy. So emotions, knowing your emotions, being able to identify them, being able to, you know, see how you're feeling is very important, because that's your body's way of telling you that you're on your right or wrong path.
Yes. And to add on that, do you know, anytime between emotions and logic, whenever you're thinking something and you're feeling something, emotions will always win. Now, if you know, I know I'm supposed to wake up because my alarm has rung and I need to go to work, I'm going to get late, but I feel, I'm just feeling demotivated and everything, I'll go back to sleep. No matter how much I know, no matter how much intellectually I know this is what I should do. But if I'm feeling something else, emotions always win. So that's why it's very important. If you're going to make, even before you do any resolution, first of all, create more awareness for yourself. Learn, do an inner work, do the inner work yourself. Soul search yourself. Sometimes you cannot do that by yourself. You've got to get someone to help you look inside, you know, like help you look inside. It's like you're looking in the mirror, yeah? So otherwise we'll be making resolutions year in, year out. If you look, we usually think a year is too long. What did you decide you're going to do this year? So why didn't it happen? It happened up to what percentage? What reasons do you have that it never happened? You know, no matter how reasonable they may be, those are not the reasons. The reason is you yourself.
It's deeper.
Yes.
So you talk about values. Whatever it is I want has to be aligned, or rather is aligned to what my values are.
Because if you dig deeper, you'll find that it connects to those values.
Okay.
And then I usually look at it from the point of identifying the two major forces that control change.
Okay.
And that is pain and pleasure. So when you try to identify change towards the good with pleasure, and then identify sticking to wherever you are right now this year to some kind of absolute pain, you realize that change is easy. You can transition from just having these dreams and goals written down and to pursuing them. Because the most dangerous person is not the person who dreams or goals written down. It's this person who has dreams that he wakes up to chase. So when you identify those two forces, because most of us do not understand that if I remain this way, I'm going to have the same results. But then when I identify that remaining the same would leave me with some kind of pain, and identify that pain so to the level of absoluteness, you'll want the pleasure of change. And that's what is taking so many people to what they have. You know, you write your goals, but they're not changing you because they're just written down in papers. Everybody has them. But that you have to come to the point where you understand those two main driving forces.
So let's talk about kids. because you see, you're happy with that, eh? Yeah, so because we just focus on adults, you know, like siblings, if you're all like siblings, but if we have kids, we ignore that they also need to have the same steps. Every year there has to be something for them. And what has personal development got to do with kids? How can parents help their kids also start this early?
Yeah, well, I think it's having those conversations.
Yeah.
And talking about goals. And a lovely activity to do with children is create their own dream board. So tap into what they would like. Things change, as we know, whatever, but you know, you're just getting them on that path to saying, well, this is what I'd like, and then what do I need to get there? An example, I used to be a primary school teacher, and one of the things we did at the beginning of the school year in September was we linked the fact that, you know, what do you want to be when you're older? And we linked it back to, well, if you want to do that when you're older, then, you know, school is where you start. So just helping them to connect those dots and realise that if we want to get there, then we have to take these steps. And if we start that young, then imagine the adults that they'll be.
There'll be no challenges at all actually in the world,
But there'll always be challenges because that's life. But with kids, it's about teaching them that we are responsible for our behaviour. So knowing that they have a choice and whatever life throws at me, because sometimes life will throw bad things, and I think kids need to know that, but we choose how we behave.
So you talked about a dream board. Is that like the vision board?
Yes. So people give it different names. Dream board. It's dreams as well. So that idea. And also very useful for adults as well. Having that visual to help with the motivation.
Yes, for adults. Let's actually talk about, I've always wanted to have it every year. Even this year I'm saying 2020 I must have a vision board. I must have it. Do they work?
Yes, they do. But you've got to get the process right.
What's the process then?
You yourself. Yeah, you are the one who is the driver of it. Yeah. So once you do it, where we come from,
which is where?
Which is here, our society.
Kenya,
Kenya. Maybe except Michelle.
Michelle is you're Kenyan.
My husband, yes, is Kenyan. So yes, it's also my home. I have many homes. So it's one of my homes.
You see the values you are talking about, they come from, yes, your biological DNA, yes, but the much effect is from where you are brought up, the society that brought you up, the values they sold to you, the things they told you, this is the way we should do things, this is the way a woman should be, this is the way a man should be. You should not be loud, you should be quiet, you should, you know all those, That's what makes you up as a person. And one thing I find with us, we wish for something, but we don't go for it.
Yeah, that's we're always wishing.
Yes, and we have so many dream vision boards. But what do you do each and every morning, each and every day? One small thing. The other day, the song, I don't want to go into politics, the song that came out, and
the King Kaka song.
Yeah, the King Kaka song. Yeah, we are so quoting them. And like, you cannot say it's them. If there's corruption, it's not them, it's me who put them there. If I take responsibility of me and I say, this is what I'm going to do, from now on, this is my action, we dream, we don't take actions. And that's why we don't go beyond the 15 days of resolution. Yes, we will pay the gym, the money is there. We can even drive, we can even have... we will even pay, it's not a matter of money, we will do that. And we have the subscriptions of the gym, but we don't continue because you never owned it. So the minute, beyond everything else, all the reasons we can give, hold yourself more accountable.
Accountability.
Before you even demand from anybody else. If we get there, if we get to that discipline of the fact that I hold myself more accountable than you, even if you are, whoever it is, beyond your husband, beyond your kids, life gets better for you.
So Reinhard, because for me, what you're talking to speaks to self-motivation.
Yes.
So yes, you've bought that membership, but you've only gone for 2 weeks, and after that you're like, who needs to lose weight? The weight can wait. No, that's a new line. The weight can wait. You know, what's the place of self-motivation? Because the truth of the matter is, and I've had conversations with people, especially who have mental health challenges, and it doesn't matter how much you say to them,
You can
you
make
can
it.
come here, you can make it. It does not matter.
True,
Yeah.
true.
You know, yet we know that it, like she said, it has to start with
From
you.
yourself, true.
How do you help people for whom it's impossible to just, it doesn't matter what you say, what they read, who they listen to?
I think it's not so much of a big challenge, but it is a challenge. Because first and foremost, if somebody will not, you know, they say faith comes from hearing. So if they won't listen to you, if they won't hear you speak, then it becomes a challenge. But then this starts from what Michelle was saying. You know, when you train a child as early as they are, actually my life is driven by a quote that I heard from my father when I was 4 years old. Life is a fight for territory. Stop fighting for what you want. What you don't want takes over. So with that,
Just say that again.
that life is a fight for territory. You stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want will take over. My dad told me that when I was 4 years old. So look, he brought me up. Every time I fell down, he would not come and tell me, you know, sorry. He would come and tell me, you know, you can fight it. Just try that. So the way a child is brought up from the ages 4 to 8 determines so much of what they're going to experience in their 20s and 30s, because most people lack motivation simply because they were not brought up to accept and understand threats and opportunities. So when you have somebody who has not been brought up in that way, you know, every time they were told, you know, I'm sorry, you know, pampering and all that. So when they grow
But
up,
there's nothing wrong with being pampered.
there's nothing wrong, but then you know,
You like a bit of pampering, yes?
as a child, you know,
It's a balance.
there should be a balance. When
Okay.
you pamper a child too much, when they grow up, most of them have esteem issues because they wake up to a reality of a world that has nobody to pamper you. You know, competition is always there. People are doing this, the same thing you're doing. Nobody will come and tell you, no, boss, you're the best here, so just take the opportunity. You
Yeah.
have to fight for it.
Yeah.
So when you balance the pampering and the motivation when they're young, they grow because, you know, the Bible says that teach a child on the ways they should go. And when they grow up, they will never forget about it. So I think it starts from there when they're young.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that stems a lot as well from growth mindset. So that idea that it's okay to fail.
Yes, yes,
We
true.
learn from failure. So starting from when they're young, but also adults as well. What are we learning? What's the
Yes,
gift?
yes.
That whole idea of positivity is so important in all aspects of this self-development.
Oh yeah.
I like that because, like, I've always been very hard on myself. Oh, it took those things you're saying, talking to yourself, reading lots of books, and saying it's okay to fail. It's fine. Find the lesson in this
What's the
so
gift,
that
yeah.
you know it doesn't happen again. But now the way you've put it, what's the gift?
That's just
So
like
are
this-
you saying there's a gift in everything?
Absolutely. And when I was preparing for the show and was thinking about what's the most important thing in terms of self-development, making this the best decade, and actually it's gratitude. If I had
Yeah.
to summarise it, it's gratitude.
Love
And
it.
one of the things to think about with gratitude is this hill I've had to climb, this travesty, what's the gift? Because there's always a gift. We can't always see it at the time. We look back and you go, that lesson taught me this. So it's just looking at things through positive eyes. There's always a gift. Maybe you didn't get that opportunity,
Yeah.
but it opened that door.
Yes.
It led you to this.
Yes.
So there's always a gift, a silver lining. I say to the children that I work with, look for the rainbow in the storm. And also when horrible things happen, say to the children, always look for the heroes.
Ah.
Wow,
Oh, that is so powerful.
beautiful.
Like we could just go home.
We're finished. There we go.
Gratitude.
But
Gratitude.
it's
Right.
gratitude.
Yeah, we
Right.
just have to be thankful and find the gift.
Yeah.
It's there.
And it's not always thinking, because when you say to people, what are you grateful for? And we're always very grateful for our family, for our friends.
Yes.
It's also thinking about the small things. So when you wake up, the hot water that you're having, the shower, that nice fresh coffee,
Yeah, the
the
first.
feel of the wind. Because if we appreciate the small
Yeah,
things,
sure.
the big things look after
Become
us.
clear.
Because happiness is not where we're going to.
Tomorrow.
It's that journey. And if we, because so many people spend so much time, how am I going to be happy? And you're missing the journey.
Yeah.
So happiness is in the journey, not the
Yeah,
destination.
it's not a destination.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes.
And you wanted to add something?
Oh, yeah.
So you have done this is
Although we can go home.
You're kidding.
Done it.
So,
Yeah, we are finished.
But talk
Yeah,
to, okay.
Yeah, but I always find it, you see, society matters a lot to our personality and who we become, yeah? And we have monetized and we have put tags to certain things that should give us happiness. Like you should have a car, you have gone to the university, you should have this, you should have this, you should have this. So we forget that that is not all about life. Yeah, money is good. I love it. I wake up every morning for it. But it has its space. So what else? Because you'll find I have maybe someone who is a woman, a mother who is so distressed because maybe the husband drinks so much and they are still renting and they want to go to, she has this vision of the family that they want to do this and this and this, but they are not happy in the one they are renting.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you happy first of all here? So whatever you're trying to reach out for is not, it's not the thing. Yeah, so it's all about, and we saw it also in the last KCSE results. The schools that came top, they're not the ones with the label. Because the objectivity
I like your
of
practical example. Yeah.
Because whatever we hold value of, we have been sold the physical things.
Right.
We don't know about the inner work. Because that's why we used to have a bell every time in school. If you're not there, the teacher is there with a stick.
Cane,
Yeah, with a cane.
Yeah.
And when we go to work, we have to sign a certain paper that I'm not going to steal, I'm not going to do these things, such that I cannot do the right thing if there is no pain.
Yeah.
If there are no consequences. And only because I fear the consequences,
Yeah.
that's why I'm going this way.
Yeah.
But if there was no, I would do it. Yeah. So we need to come out. We are getting out of that. I've been quite observant on that. We are getting out of that because you realize after you have gotten everything now, yeah, you know the basics. After you have been able to meet your basics, you realize there is that emptiness is still there.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And that's why we do the things that we keep doing. And then when it comes to midlife crisis, life catches up with us. Yeah, I may have all the energy and the money and everything to do whatever I feel is going to meet that. But you see, we were not taught when we were kids that failure is not a bad thing. It's a very good thing.
very good.
It's a very good thing. You wake up, you go, you get, someone cancels your order, you start thinking about what else can I do.
It
Yeah?
triggers you.
Yes, and if you don't respond negatively to that client, he will still come along some other time, but you get a chance to get 2, 3 more because you have been motivated by the cancel.
Yeah.
So it's about not wasting our pain, us telling our kid, and especially the parents, because we have 100% influence on the kids, it's all about it's okay. You failed, it's okay. I had a story of this one mom who, when the daughter was trying to put the cup on the sink, it fell, it broke. Then she took another one, she dropped it. It's like accident do happen. You don't have to define yourself because you broke her. Yeah, but we don't give that room of total acceptance because I want to define you by your good behavior when visitors come home. Those are the worst thing we do.
And it's
We will
also-
pause on that. Just keep that very fresh here. Keep it very fresh. We take a short, quick commercial break. We'll be back right after this.